Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You're back, coming back on the
No,
way.
I am at Vrindavan,
Oh, really? Okay.
standing in the queue for darshans.
Okay. Okay. Which queue?
Gate number 2, uh,
Okay.
Bhagya
Banke
Bihari
Bihari
Temple.
Temple. Huh? Banke Bihari Temple. Huh?
जी
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है चलो गुड गुड दर्शन जनार्दन जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Welcome.
We are having a Madurai trip. Guru Maharaj is coming
Hmm.
for some Diksha program. I'm also going, Prabhuji,
Okay.
just to see Guru Maharaj.
Which Guru Maharaj is coming?
Jata Pataka, sorry.
Pataka Maharaj. Hmm.
Yeah.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है
That Prabhuji who is, not mobile very easily, I think. He can't move around he's moving around in a wheelchair, Prabhuji.
अच्छा अच्छा ठीक है
Very
Okay.
difficult.
Okay. शोभा जी उमा जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
All well?
Yes, Prabhuji. All well. Yes.
कृष्णा जी हरे कृष्णा सौम्या माता जी हरे कृष्णा भूमिका जी हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा धीर कृष्णा प्रभु माता जी हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा शोभा सगरम जी हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You're okay? Not to be seen since few sessions.
Only last 2 sessions I could not catch up.
Okay, fine. You're okay? Hmm? Okay. Sushila ji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Fine. So let's begin our session with prayers to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna and conclude our discussion on 12th chapter today. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय श्री निताई गौरंग की जय प्रभुपाद की जय निताई गौर आनंदे हरि बोल. So we have covered up to 15th verse in second chapter, sorry, 12th chapter. 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita as it is called devotional service. It is the last chapter in the second section. Bhagavad Gita is divided into 3 parts. The first 6 chapters is called Karma Yoga section. The middle 6 chapters from 7th to 12th is called Bhakti Yoga section. And the last 6 chapters is called Gyan Yoga section. So we're in the middle 6 chapters, last portion of the middle 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. In fact, Prabhupada says this is a very important section, and in that section, this chapter is very important. Okay. So this chapter began with a question from Arjuna about which path is better, path of impersonal Brahman or path of engaging in personal service to Lord Krishna's devotion. So which is better was the question. So for which Krishna directly answered that path of devotion is perfect, which is wherein the devotee is completely absorbed in serving him with great faith and engaging in his service 24 hours is the best. And why impersonal path is not recommended, Krishna gave reasons. Impersonal path is an indirect process It is troublesome process. It's very painful, risky, and the practitioner on his own has to endeavor for perfection, and the result is not guaranteed. Whereas the path of devotional service, the personal aspect of serving Krishna, is direct, easy, it can be happily performed, and Lord personally helps those who are engaged in devotional service. Krishna says, he personally comes on his carrier, Garuda, and he lifts the sadhaka, devotee, from this world of ocean of birth and death, Bhavasagara. And just we need to sincerely perform our devotion. Everything Krishna will take care. Prabhupada assures. Responsibility is on the Supreme Lord himself. Right? Lord becomes the deliverer for the devotee. Right? And the result is assured. No risk involved in this process. Having said this much, Krishna explained how performance of devotion, the topmost level is to become completely absorbed in his service, mentally, intellectually. And then in that way always become situated in his service in all the ways, absorbed in his service, top level. Somebody is not able to reach that level, at least by performance of sadhana bhakti, called abhyasa yoga, regulated principles of bhakti. Gradually you can develop a desire to attain Krishna, to come to that level of pure devotion. So sadhana bhakti or vaidhi bhakti is also an authorized process Krishna recommends. Somebody is not able to even perform sadhana bhakti. Sadhana bhakti means you have to follow the directions of Prabhupada, spiritual master, to get up early morning and then perform your different duties in spiritual life. Right? Attending Mangalarati, then hearing Bhagavata, chanting Hare Krishna, fixed number of rounds, like that. That is called sadhana bhakti. Somebody is not able to do this or practice his regulations. Krishna says, at least work for me, which means whatever activities you do, the results, offer it to me. So in that way, gradually you will come to the stage of getting interested in performing sadhana and then moving forward. And Krishna recommends further, if somebody is not able to work for Krishna or give results to Krishna, do sacrifice for some good work, at least. You cannot enjoy results on your own. What is essential for your maintenance of the body and soul together, keep that much, and everything else, use it for a good work. Because when you perform charity for some good purposes like social service, community service, national service, or charity for some hospital or the other social institution, because you're going to give your hard-earned results for these activities, gradually you will purify your mind, and in that way, the purified stage of mind, you will be able to come to the platform of knowledge, understanding of Krishna consciousness. So there's a step, different recommendations Krishna gives for different types of people. Right? So Krishna in that way concludes that you have to come to the level of pure devotion, finally, somehow. Okay. So having said this much, now Krishna has been describing about the devotional qualities a devotee develops when he is practicing bhakti. And these qualities, when they are manifest in the devotee, that makes the devotee very dear to Krishna. Since Krishna is going to see that, oh, this devotee is like Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj used to say, Prabhupada used to often quote, that don't try to see Krishna, but act in a way that Krishna will try to see you. It's a very important statement. I'll repeat. Don't try to see Krishna, but act in a way that Krishna will see you. Which means generally people want to see God, right? But here the recommendation given, Prabhupada that your actions, your disposition towards Krishna's devotion should be such that Krishna himself will be so eager to see you, right? It's like you are so absorbed in devotion to Krishna. Krishna himself is there to come. Not that we are ordering Krishna, it's just that your devotion is attracting. Krishna is one of the qualities of pure devotional service. Krishna is attracted to pure devotional service of devotees. Right? The devotion which gopis have expressed to Krishna was unmatching. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says in 4th chapter, as you surrender, I reciprocate. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sataiva bhajamyaham. So this statement which Krishna makes in Bhagavad Gita fails with gopis because their devotion to Krishna was so elevated, exalted, that Krishna said to gopis, your devotion to me is, because gopis sacrifice everything. Their husbands, their children, their in-laws, everything, everybody, just to please Krishna. Their only goal was how to please Krishna. They were not even bothered about social customs, nothing. So their level of devotion was so exalted. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified their level of devotion. So when gopis' level of devotion was such, in such a peak, they were performing their devotion to Krishna, offering everything to Krishna. Krishna became so obliged. The Bhagavatam, Krishna makes a statement, I don't have anything to give you in return. Because Krishna has given a promise in Bhagavad Gita. As you surrender, I reciprocate. But here he said, your surrender is so much, I cannot even give you back. You please be satisfied with your devotion. So this is the level of devotion the gopis had, which means devotees' devotion is something attracts Krishna. And that devotee becomes the object of being loving or dearest to Krishna, dearest object to Krishna. That's why Krishna has been telling in this last section of this chapter, verse number 13 onwards, how somebody can become dear to Krishna. Right? So by cultivating these devotional qualities, one can become dear to Krishna. So in this last section, there are 26 qualities which Krishna describes, and we have understood in 13, 14 and 15, around 10 qualities Krishna describes how we can become dear to him. Just like Krishna says, one who is not envious but is a kind friend to all living entities. Adveshta sarvabhutana maitra karuna evacha. One who is the nirmama, does not think himself a proprietor. Nothing is mine. Everything is Krishna's. Everything should be used for Krishna's service. Nirahankara. No ahankara that I am the body. Is free from false ego. Right? Sama dukkha sukha. He is equal in both happiness and distress. Kshami. He is always tolerant. So like this, Krishna describes wonderful qualities. So continuing with our discussion with the next set of verses, last set of verses, verse number 16. I hope everybody is having your copy of Bhagavad Gita in front of you. So 16th verse, Krishna says, Anapekshaha suchir daksha udasino katavyataha sarvarambha parityagi yomad bhaktaha same priyaha. So anapekshaha, Krishna says, one who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. Just like, we all feel, oh, we have to have a job. We think we are totally dependent on different systems in this material world. Without this, we cannot exist. Right? Whereas a devotee is not dependent on the ordinary activities. He is dependent on Krishna. In one conversation, Prabhupada was in London, the London British Broadcasting Corporation. one interviewer, he asked Prabhupada, what you asking, talking about different, how Prabhupada's movement grew and what is the rules, regulations. Prabhupada is telling how we admit the devotees, they have to follow regulations of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. This was telling. So during that, one question this interviewer asked is, do the people who come to your organization, they are supposed to give some money contribution? They're supposed to give some financial contribution? Prabhupada said, not compulsory. So again, this interviewer wants to confirm again, are you sure they're not supposed to give any money? Because generally, in the outside world, any club or organization you want to join, you're supposed to give some membership fees. Prabhupada said, no, we are not dependent on your money. If you give, it is for your good. If you don't give also Krishna, we are dependent on Krishna. So this is how Prabhupada started the movement. If you see the whole history, Prabhupada didn't have any financial backup or any organization, institutional, backup. He started the organization with faith in the words of his Guru Maharaja, orders of his Guru Maharaja, and faith in the holy name of Krishna. Right? That is what a devotee is. Devotee is anapekshaha. Anapeksha means who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. He is dependent on Krishna. We have one more example. See, all these wonderful qualities are exhibitions of pure devotees, are all qualities exhibited by pure devotees. So, with examples, these qualities will become more clear for us. There is one great Acharya by name Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri is the spiritual master of Ishvara Puri. Ishvara Puri is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In that way, that parampara is there. So Madhavendra Puri, when he used to travel across different holy places. So when he was in Vrindavan, Govardhan, near Govindakund, there's a place called Govindakund. There, this Madhavendra Puri was actually sannyasi. And this sannyasi's special order was that, rather his way of practicing sannyasa was that, he was not begging food from anybody. On their own, somebody will give him some food to eat. He will take it as Krishna's mercy. So he was sitting near Govindakund under a tree, facing Govardhana and doing his bhajana. Right? And Krishna appeared as a small boy. And then he started conversing with him and started telling, Babaji, you are hungry, I think. Since long you have not had any food. So there's some women who came here for the Govindakund to take some water. They all sent me a pot of milk for you. Please take. So Madhavendra Puri just took it because Krishna only has sent. But that boy was very beautiful. He was very impressed with the other. He was very attracted to that boy's beautiful features. He just was very happily he took that pot of milk, and the boy told, after some time you finish the milk, I'll come and take the pot. After this, the boy went and disappeared. He never came back. Okay. And then the same night, Madhavendra Puri was waiting to give that pot back. He had a dream wherein that same boy who had appeared the daytime to give him milk, he appeared. These are all described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the pastimes, what happened there. And Madhavendra Puri saw the same boy telling that, actually, I am hidden somewhere near the bushes here, near Govardhana. I was hidden because there was attack from Muslims. And I am feeling a lot of heat. And I am not being taken care properly. Please take me out and install. Actually, there was a deity of Lord Krishna known as Gopalji, who is in the form of holding the Govardhana hill. That deity was somehow protected by the attacks by the devotees hidden in a bush. So Lord, he revealed himself to Madhavendra Puri. So Madhavendra Puri next day, with the help of the local villagers, he cleared the place wherever direction was given to him by Krishna, and then finally they found the deity, and he very properly, nicely installed the deity on top of the Govardhana hill and established the worship. in fact. So like this, the pastime shows how Madhavendra Puri, if you see, it is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities. Oh, without food, without proper, if I don't get food, how will I take care of myself? People are all very much worried about their normal course of things. If I don't make savings for my old age, what will happen? Like this worries. Ordinary course of activities. A devotee is not dependent like that. Devotee is dependent on Krishna. What will happen in my old age? Krishna will take care. Have that faith. Right? In that way, that is how the devotees work. Not that they are careless or anything like that. With regard to just like when you say, okay, doctor, we have to go to a doctor. Health, yes. What is required as a duty you do. Not beyond that, depend on Krishna only, everything. That's what it means. So, Prabhupada says, money may be offered to a devotee, but he is not struggling to on its own. Whatever comes, he accepts it as Krishna's mercy and is not disturbed with it. It is called anapeksha. Next quality, suchi. Suchi means is always clean, pure. A devotee, minimum he takes 2 times bath in a day. So he's externally clean. And internally also is clean. Why? Because morning after he gets up, he takes bath and goes to perform his devotional activities, chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So this keeps him internally clean. He is always clean, both internally and externally. It's called the Shuchi. So Anapeksha, Shuchi, Daksha. Daksha means he is very expert with regard to what is the essence of life. Basically, people are all driven by some desire, intention. Why? Because the main intention is my gratification of my family, my society. This is the whole thing. The rasa, the mellow for their whole work is gratification of senses, either self or extended. For a devotee, he knows the sense gratification is the cause of bondage. So Prabhupada says, any activity you do, that should be directed towards Krishna's satisfaction. Yagnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Krishna says in the 3rd chapter. Any activity which is not directed to satisfying Krishna will bind you in a cycle of karma. Karma bandhana. So devotee is very much aware of this fact. So basically, a devotee is known as Paramahamsa. Hamsa, swan, has one very specific quality. What is that? It can, if you mix milk and water and give it to Hamsa, it can separately take out milk out of it. So like that, even though material world, there are good, bad, everything, devotee knows what is that I am supposed to be doing in this world. He takes the right essence of things and then moves forward in his life of devotion. That's why he's called expert. Not that he gets entangled. It's like Krishna gives one more example in the 5th chapter. Padma Patram Ivambhasa. A lotus leaf. It is in the, it is in a lot of muddy water. Right? Whereas the top portion of the leaf is very smooth and very clean. Even a drop of water falls on it, it will just move out. So like that, the Padma Patram, the lotus leaf, even though it is in the muck below, but externally, outside, it is very clean. So like this, devotee, internally, he knows the purpose of life is to dedicate my whole activities to Krishna. Right? He is working in that action, in that way. Brahmanyadhaya karmani sangam tektva karotiya. Lipyate nasa papena padma patram ivambhasa. Krishna says, the devotee knows all activities should be done as an offering to Krishna without attachment to results. This will sins. This is how he will work. He works. So devotee in that way is expert, not expertise in terms of materially very intelligent and skillful in earning a lot of money. name, fame, that is all immaterial. That is all hardly it bothers devotees, because he knows this expertise will not help you or save you in any way. Real expertise is when you know what is the purpose of life, what you should be doing in life with regard to your own spiritual advancement. That is called daksha. So udasina, anapeksha, shuchir daksha. Udasina means carefree. Prabhupada says, without cares. This word udasina comes in 9th chapter also. Krishna says, if you open 9th chapter, verse number, I think it is 10 or 9. 9th verse, 9.9. Nachamam tani karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya udasina vadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Krishna says, O Dhananjaya, no work can bind me. Which work? Because Krishna told before these verses that I am the cause of the creation, I am the cause of destruction, I am the cause of maintenance, everything I am only doing. Krishna said. But also he is telling, I am not bound by these actions, because in the material world, anything you do, you become bound up. Krishna says, I am ever detached, seated as though neutral, udasinavad. So, basically, Prabhupada gives the example of how in a court, judge is giving, somebody is giving judgment, he has to be hanged because he is in a criminal action. Somebody is telling he has to be given proper compensation. Somebody has to be given this type of a punishment. Like this, so many judgments he is passing, right? But he himself is not affected by those judgments. Right? So in that way, the judge sitting on the bench is just giving his judgments based on the law. He is not affected. Oh, somebody is hanged, so he is very unhappy. Somebody is getting compensation, is very happy. No. And that Krishna is neutral. Udasina means you are like callous to what's happening. So Prabhupada says very nicely, devotee does not take part of a particular party. Okay, now some political party was ruling our state. Somebody else comes, means, oh, everything will spoil. No problem. Is neither this party or that party. Whoever comes, Krishna's will. That is called udasinavat. He is least bothered. Anybody comes, he comes by Krishna's arrangement only. He has to rule, right? It's like, in Delhi, we see that one party was ruling. That party was overthrown. Now new party has come. Whether new party comes overnight, nothing will happen. Right? Time will tell what happens. Krishna's will, what happens. So we are not attached to this party or that party. Right? We are attached to Krishna. That's what it means. Udasinavad. Right? You are right. He never takes the part of a particular party. Therefore, he is carefree. Otherwise, even people see this IPL match, cricket match, and they get inclined to one team. First of all, seeing the IPL match itself is a gambling. After that, beyond that, you get attached to one team. Even like cricket match, India, some other country playing. Oh, my country is losing. My country won. All is nonsense. We belong to Krishna. Then gatavyataha. Gatavyataha means he is free from all pains. What pain? Because you are attached to this body and you feel yourself as, I am this body. Body means some designations. Right? I am a big man, I am an intelligent man, I am so and so, I am that, this, so. Like so many designations we carry. I am a nice person. Somebody, spoke to me so harshly. Pains. Right? I am such a honest person. I worked in the office 30 years so honestly. But one new employee came and told, you are a thief. It pains me. Right? So many years I've been cooking so nicely. Husband, one day cooking didn't happen properly, so he scolded me. It pains. Right? So like this, paining. Why? Because You are attached to this designation as a body. I am such a nice person. I am such an expert person, right? Whereas when you don't, I'm not this body. So where is the point of body pain? Is free from the body pains. Gatavyataha. Such a wonderful quality, right? Not easy, but this quality has to be developed. What Krishna expects. Then Sarvarambha Parityagi. Sarvarambha Parityagi means he does not strive for some result. He does not endeavor for some result. Oh, I want to become, some minister. I want to become president of the society. I want to, get some good name. I want to become a big, artist. Something like that. He goes on endeavoring, right? Endeavoring for something which is not in line with devotional service. If you ask anybody, everybody is trying so many things, right? We just go and stand in the main road and stopping people and ask them, what do you want? I want to become rich man. I want to become big man. Nothing in line with devotional service to Krishna. Nobody will say, I want to become nice devotee of Krishna. Right? So Prabhupada says, like this, people are endeavoring in so many ways, utilizing their energies. A devotee doesn't endeavor and utilize his energy for which is not in line with devotion to Krishna. Prabhupada gives example. People are building big houses, palatial buildings. For what? For their own purpose. Me and my family, my community. Whereas a devotee is not doing anything like this for himself. Anything he does it for Krishna. It may be over-endeavoring, but he takes it up because it is for Krishna. Prabhupada says, he may construct a temple for the Lord. Prabhupada constructed temples in Vrindavan, in Bombay, Mayapur, Hyderabad. He may take all kinds of anxiety, but he does not construct a big house for his personal relations. That's the point. That's the difference. So Sarvatama Pratyagi means his endeavors are directed only for Krishna's satisfaction. Even though endeavors may be filled with all anxiety, doesn't matter. Whereas ordinary person, he takes anxiety, lot of trouble, pains for personal gratification. That's the difference. So like this, Krishna describes 6 more wonderful qualities. Anapeksha, Shuchir Daksha, Udasino Katavyata, Sarvarambha Parityagi, Yomad Bhakta Same Priyaha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Next, verse number 17. Yona Hrishyati na dveshti, na sochati, na kankshati, Shubha Shubha Parityagi, Bhakti Manya Same Priyaha. Here again, Krishna describes 3 more qualities, which makes him very dear to Krishna. Yona Hrishyati na dveshti means a devotee is neither very much happy or in grief at any situation. Especially in material gain and material loss, he is neither happy nor distressed. Just like we see people sometimes lamenting, oh, my son is not married, my daughter has not got a first child, very unhappy. Right? Or my son is not settled, this didn't happen in business. Always, they're either when they get something, very happy. Material gain, material loss means a person moved by material, life. The different situations in material life, he's emotionally affected. So this material situations do not affect a devotee. Yona Hrishyati na dveshti. Right? Prabhupada says a devotee is not very much anxious for a son or a disciple. Just like, if today nobody is attending this session, I am all alone. Fine, very nice. Krishna's will. Prabhupada initially, when he went to America, initially he was with some acquaintance for a month or 2. And there that person had a yoga studio. That time, that was very famous in 1965 time. That person whom Prabhupada knew, he was conducting a Hatha Yoga process and speaking impersonalism. Prabhupada was just sitting at the back and tolerating. Prabhupada finally realized, actually doing anything, because he was waiting for that person to finish and then he will speak. Prabhupada will speak, that too very briefly, with a lot of restrictions. Prabhupada felt having a movement like this, with somebody and all these things very inconvenient. So Prabhupada moved to a separate room. So initially Prabhupada didn't, Prabhupada announced also on the outside of the room. It's a small room, maybe 10 feet by 12 feet width room with no windows, no toilet, one single room, that's all. So, and he announced also outside that every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you'll have Sunday evening classes. Initially, nobody used to come. So Prabhupada, used to, he just with the sale of his books, what he had brought from India, Bhagavatam books, he had collected some money, and with that he purchased a tape recorder. It is 1966 February. So when Prabhupada moved to a new room, rented room on his own, nobody used to come. So Prabhupada used to speak and record whatever he was speaking. That whatever he spoke in the initial few days, that recording only is the introduction, what you see. Bhagavad Gita introduction is nothing but the recorded audio of Prabhupada, which he spoke in the initial days when nobody attended his class. Just see, that introduction is so important for us. It is so vital. That gives us a whole overview of Bhagavad Gita. So whatever pure devotee speaks, Prabhupada says, my Guru Maharaj used to say, don't worry, walls will hear you. There are so many insects, mosquitoes, ants, all of them will get liberated. So that way, a devotee is not that, he is very much worried, oh, how many are there, how many are not there. Many occasions, initial days when ISKCON started, devotees out of great enthusiasm, they used to call Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you have arranged big program, big gathering in this college or this particular hall. A lot of people come and it's very nice, please come. So Prabhupada just agreed. And when Prabhupada went, hall was so big that hardly you can count the number of people sitting in the hall. But Prabhupada was not discouraged. He said, don't worry, let's do program. Right? So like this, there are many occasions Prabhupada himself demonstrated that a devotee is yona hrishyati nadveshti. He is not worried about the material gain and loss. People outside the world, they're all worried about material gain or loss. Any political meeting means they all pay money to all those villagers and everybody, bring them in big buses and then fill the hall gathering. That, oh, a lot of people are there. Right? When the politician is speaking from the stage, everybody, oh, very nice, oh, right? Like this, it's not like that. Prabhupada is not behind all these things. Even if Rishtati na dveshti, na sochati na kankshati. Right? So, if he, generally, what happens, this sochati, kankshati comes again, 18th chapter again. Sochati means lamentation, kankshati means hankering. So, something which is very dear to him, he loses. He is not, that way worried. He is not lamenting. So, people are always lamenting for what they have lost. They had something they lost, always lamenting. I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost my husband, I lost my that, I lost you. So many things they keep losing. I lost my mobile, I lost this, lamenting. And what they don't have, they want to possess. Kankshati. Right? And both is not easy in the material world. Right? You will lose so easily, and what you want, you don't get easily. That's what happens in the material world. Whereas the devotee is transcendental to all these aspects. Na shochati na kankshati. Shubha shubha parityagi. Shubha ashubha. Auspicious and inauspicious things. Right? What does he do? He is not concerned about good, bad, what happens to him. Right? Auspicious, inauspicious, something very bad happens. He's not bothered. He's transcendental to all of these things. Like, Prabhupada says, he is prepared to accept all kinds of risks for the satisfaction of Krishna. Nothing is an impediment in the discharge of his devotional service. How Prabhupada, at that age of 69, 70 years, he took all the risks. The sponsor, Sumati Moraji, that lady, she told, Swamiji, you're an old man, you will die in America. Don't go to America. Prabhupada said, no, Mataji, please give me a ticket. Because Prabhupada didn't have money. So free passage was given. Right? It was such a big risk. Prabhupada took all kinds of risks. Why? To execute the mission of his Guru Maharaj. So nothing, he is prepared to accept all kinds of risk for what? Not for personal satisfaction. Prabhupada says, I didn't come to America to do sightseeing. I have come to do Lord's work. My Guru Maharaj's order. Satisfaction of Supreme Lord. So in that way, a devotee, for him, nothing is impossible with regard to execution of service to Krishna. Nothing can stop him. Ahaituki apratihata. Right? That's how such a devotee becomes very dear to Krishna. Right? No, yona hrishyati na dveshti na sochati na kankshati shubha shubha parityagi bhakti man me priyo narah. Bhakti man ya same priya. Sorry. He becomes very dear to me, Krishna says. These are all qualities desirable by a sadhaka. Sama shatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapa manayo शीतोष्ण सुख दुखेषु समसंग विवर्जितः तुल्य निंदा सुतिर मौनी संतुष्टो येन केनचित अनिकेत स्थिरमतिर भक्तिमान में प्रियो नरः. So again, next last set of qualities Krishna is going to tell now. Sama shatrau cha mitre cha is equal to friend and enemy. Right? Some qualities looks it is repetitive, but nevertheless, Prabhupada explains why it is repetitive. In the beginning also, the 13th verse, Krishna said, right, he is not envious of anyone, he is friendly to all living entities. It again means he is equal to friend and enemies, right? Then, tatha manapa manayo shitashna sukha dukkeshu samaha tulya nindasuti. Means here Krishna is telling, he is equiposed in honor, dishonor, heat, cold, happiness, distress, fame and infamy. So Prabhupada very nicely says, this material world is designed in such a way that the same society which is honoring you, which is glorifying you, next day it will dishonor you, it will defame you. Right? So that's how material world is. One day they will glorify you, next day you are nothing, you are useless. It will tell. It is a matter of time only. But a devotee is transcendental to this artificial fame and infamy. So these dualities of mana, apamana, honor, dishonor, shita, ushna, heat, cold, sukha, dukkha, happiness, distress, tulya, ninda, stuti, fame, infamy. So these are all will come and go, because body, the material world is like that, dualistic world. People are all behind. I want name, fame, honor. I want happiness. I want, always good situation. Not easy. Right? It takes hardly any time to again society to turn around and give you. We are seeing the case of that one judge from Supreme Court. How he was, immediately overnight he has become a villain. Because some cash was found in his house, they claim. Allegation. But anyway, every day is discussion happening. So like this, overnight he became a villain. Same society which was having good, they are questioning the judiciary only now. So what is the way of appointment of judges? How they can get so much money? So like this, people are all talking. So like this fame, infamy, honor, dishonor is all part of the world. I heard our Prime Minister Modi telling that, one small short speech somebody had shared with me. Every day I get, so much of backlash people give me. Many people are there. Around 3 to 4 kilos of this, dishonor I take every day. He said. So like this, it is part of the world. Anything you do good, they'll find out something in that, wrong in that, fault in that. How material world is like that. Right? So, material world means fault-finding tendency. So, there is all dualistic world. So, Krishna says, one who is equipoised, is balanced in his mind with honor, dishonor, fame, infamy, all these things. Then, he says, Sangha Varjitaha, Sangha Vivarjitaha. Sangha Vivarjita means he is free from all contamination. Which means he is not rather attached to the different aspects of the material world in terms of name, fame, power, glory, all these things. Right? Basically, he is transcendental. He is free from all bad association. Right? The contamination basically means the gunas. People who are all different, they're all from different modes of nature, different mentalities. Because Krishna says in second chapter, Sangha Sanjayate Kama. A man is known by his association. So free from all contamination means, Krishna says that you don't associate with people who are having qualities which is going to be detrimental for your progress in bhakti. This Sangha Varjitaha, or else free from bad association, Krishna repeats in many places. Then Krishna says, he is Mauni. Mauni means he is silent, always silent. There are some communities, they put some cloth in front of their mouth. Mauni, silence, no talking. Does it mean that? No. Prabhupada says, silent doesn't mean that he is not speaking. No. Silent means he does not speak of anything other than topics of Krishna. That is called silence. Very important understanding. Is the Acharya's understanding, Parapara understanding of what silence means. Silence, if you, Krishna says silent means no talk. Husband is asking something, wife is Mauna Vrata, no talking. Right? Mauna Vrata. One day husband Mauna Vrata, one day wife Mauna Vrata. How will the house run? So like this, Mauna Vrata you cannot do. Mauna means Mauna of not talking nonsense. Rupa Goswami also says in Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, the book Upadesha Amrita, that Vacho Vega, you have the urge to speak. And our urge to speak is like that we want to go on talking nonsense. So much nonsense. Bhagavatam compares our talking to the croaking of frogs in the field. Prabhupada imitates. Go. Frogs, in the field when it is after rain, you can hear frogs. Some sound will come. So many sounds. So these sounds they are making, they don't know. For them it is enjoyment. But they don't know they are inviting snakes to come and catch them and eat them. So nonsense talking means Kala Sarpa, that the snake of time will come and take you off, wasting your time. So Mauni means you don't speak nonsense, you speak only Krishna talks. Silent means that one should not speak nonsense, one should speak only of essentials, and the most essential speech for the devotee is to speak of the Supreme Lord. Very important, right? Only of Supreme Lord is speaking. It is called Mauni. Then Santusto Yena Kenachit. Satisfied with anything, right? You are invited to some devotee's house, and then you are promised to be given a feast. Somehow some problem, they gave you some simple khichdi. You become angry. No. Whatever is given, I am happy with anything. Satisfied with anything. Prabhupada says, a devotee, sometimes you may get a palatable foodstuff prasadam, or sometimes not. Satisfied with anybody, anything, any situation. How Prabhupada was satisfied with anything, whatever Prabhupada used to say earlier. When he went to America, I was thinking, America, what you'll get to eat? Maybe you'll get only potatoes. Right? Only meat will be there, potatoes. I will have to eat potatoes and live my day. But later on, Prabhupada say, everything is available. And Prabhupada used to get all those ingredients through his different followers. Prabhupada, I am Krishna's mercy. I am getting all that ingredients of what I get in India. Prabhupada had taken little quantity of some ingredients with him while he left India to America. He was thinking, okay, America means only meat and potatoes. But he got everything, which means devotee is satisfied with anything what Krishna gives you. Santusto yena kena chita aniketaha. Aniketa means he doesn't care for any residence. Right? It's like Goswamis of Vrindavan. They Sanatan Goswami used to live under one tree every day. Because he was thinking, if I live under the same tree every day, I'll become attached. So every day he has to change the trees and live in some other tree. So if you are told, today you stay in this house, tomorrow you vacate this and go to one more house. Oh, so troublesome, right? Whereas the devotee means he doesn't care for any residential facility. He may sometimes live underneath a tree. He may sometimes live in a very palatial building. He is not attracted to anything. I hope Prabhupada. Initially, we see how Prabhupada was hardly humble living was there. Later on, devotees used to make palatial things, but nothing he was attached to. Right? He was always moving. He said, sannyasi cannot stay in a place more than 3 days. That was the principle Prabhupada was following. Right? That way, Prabhupada was not attached. See, all these qualities you can see in the personality of Prabhupada very clearly. Aniketaha sthiramatir. Sthiramatir means he is fixed in determination and knowledge. Right? So, because of which he is engaging in devotional service always. So, Prabhupada comments towards the end, all these qualities which Krishna is describing, this only illustrates the fact that devotee must acquire all these qualifications. Right? In the last class, there was a question. There's also a statement which Prabhupada makes. Here also he makes in the purport. These qualifications automatically develop in a devotee. Right? It does not extraneously endeavor. It does not separately endeavor for them. All his qualifications develop, but you have to engage yourself in Krishna consciousness. So it only means that a devotee is aspiring to get these qualifications. Prabhupada says he must acquire all these qualifications. He wants to be recognized as a devotee. He should develop these qualifications. So this is an aspiration of a devotee. I want to develop this quality. Right? So it's not like you're trying to acquire these qualities like how in the outside world people want to acquire some material skill. Attending some course or some session or some seminar. Right? Oh, you attend this seminar, you become expert speaker, or you become expert Mauni. No, not like that. No, by attending some material course, you get all of these qualities you can acquire. People will take a lot of pride in that outside world. Oh, I have attended this course, I become expert in this field. No, it's not like that. These qualities which Krishna is describing are already there in us as spirit soul. Right? They are right now covered. They slowly become manifested depending on our sincerity and intensity of following devotional service. That's the point. When Prabhupada says you should develop them, I should cultivate them, culture them, separately you're not culturing them. Already it is there, but it is covered. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadhya Kabunai. Devotion to Krishna is already there in our hearts. With Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte, with hearing, chanting, and performance of activities as given by Prabhupada, devotional activities, Shravanam Kirtanam, those devotional aspects will awaken. Prabhupada gives one more example. The walking capacity is there already in the child when it is born. With little practice and support from the parents, it can start walking at the appropriate time. So likewise, these qualities, if are not properly, first of all, you should know these qualities are there in us, and then execute the activities of Krishna consciousness, engagement in Krishna consciousness, devotional service as per the rules, regulations, then they will manifest. If you don't perform devotional service, simply it will not come and fall from the sky. But you will get all these qualities. I become anapeksha, sthirdaksha, udasina gatavyataha. No. You will have a contrary quality because right now you are covered by modes of nature. That's the point. Okay. So all these qualities Krishna is describing is very important. You have to contemplate on them, meditate on them, and aspire to have them manifest in our personality by sincere devotion. Because this is what Krishna says is dear to me, is dear to me. What is dear to Krishna, we should acquire that. You should have that. Right? That's what makes you, that's what makes Krishna happy. You should be hankering for that. Right? Next, last verse of this chapter. Edu dharmamritamidam yathoktam paryupasate Shraddhadhana mat parama bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. The concluding verse, Krishna says, he who follows this imperishable path of devotional service, dharma amrutam, dharma amrutam, amrutam means imperishable, amruta, immortal, right? So this path of devotional service is imperishable. And who completely engages himself with faith. Shraddhadhana paryupasate, right? Making me the supreme goal, mat parama. Such a devotee is not simply dear or very dear, very, very dear to me. Please note this. Krishna says, Bhaktaste ativa me priyaha. Ativa means very, very dear to me. Dear is one thing. Very dear is one thing. Very, very dear. Krishna is using the word, see, I am not telling anything. Krishna is using this word. He said, very, very dear to me. Who? One who follows the path of devotion as given by Acharyas. Very nice. What you should do? Simply follow the path of devotional service. Completely engage yourself with faith. Making Krishna as the only goal. This is what Krishna said in the 11th chapter also. Mat karma krin, mat parama, mat bhakta sangha varjitaha. Same words Krishna used in this 11th chapter also, last verse. Nirvairas sarva bhuteshu. Right? 5 things Krishna said. All activities dedicate to me. Make me the supreme. Perform my different devotional activities. Give up all bad association. Don't be envious to anybody. Become friendly to everybody. Then you reach me. The same thing Krishna is explaining in different ways. So, Prabhupada very nicely explains that this is the chapter of religion of eternal engagement. Very nice phrase Prabhupada uses. Eternal engagement means right now we are engaged some way or the other. With our body, we are engaged as a family person or doing some business or some occupation. Some engagement we are doing. But it is not our eternal engagement. It is a temporary engagement for this body. Right? And we change our engagement so many things, so many times in this body also. But what is our eternal engagement? That is soul's engagement. Right? That is Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa. Being eternal servant of Krishna is our eternal engagement. So this explanation of doing this devotional service is what Krishna is explaining in this chapter. And how it has to be done? Prabhupada explains that through good association, what happens? One develops attachment for pure devotional service. Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha. Then you accept a bona fide spiritual master, Sadhu Sangha. Then they say you follow the Bhajana Kriya. Right? Then you start hearing, chanting, Bhajana Kriya. Then what happens? You follow regulative principles. Then Anartha Nivritti, all the unwanted things in the heart will start going away. And then you start developing Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti. You develop, you become more steady. You develop taste for devotional service. Asakti. Asakti means attachment comes. Like this, gradually, you will develop to the stage of love of Krishna. So this is the process which Krishna is explaining in this chapter. Right? So the path to reach the perfection of life, that is to reach the supreme absolute through this devotional service, Krishna is recommending here, is the only absolute path for self-realization. Prabhupada also comments, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth is recommended for those candidates unless one surrenders himself for self-realization. What does it mean? You are in the path of exploring life. What is truth? how to get happiness, what is the perfection of life. Like this, you're trying to research, Gyani, right? You got frustrated with your normal life, material life. You got frustrated. You have seen earning money, enjoying senses, all useless. Now you want to find out what is truth. Gyani, right? Speculation. You are speculating. So Prabhupada says they finally come to the level of understanding all this material world, everything what you see forms are all going to give you problem. So anything spiritual must be formless. Person means problem. Spiritual means should be impersonal. That is the level of understanding. You speculate and come to this conclusion. So because he doesn't have association with pure devotee, the speculator goes on like this. There are so many speculators in the world. Because you want to speculate, Krishna will arrange such literatures and such people to you that you go on, you'll expand your realm of speculation. Right? That's what happens. Because super soul knows what is your desire. He will take you to such people or such organizations where this is spoken. Then you will feel, oh, see, what I was searching is, I'm getting this. This is the path. God means, truth means nirakara, nirvishesha, avyakta. Like this, you go on speculation. But moment you get association of a pure devotee, all your understanding, will turn upside down. Prabhupada says, moment you get a chance to associate with a pure devotee, the impersonal conception goes away. You understand impersonal is only one of the aspects of Supreme Lord. Right? Of course, impersonal path of what Krishna recommends here is the Vedic impersonal path, not the Mayavadi impersonal path. Mayavadi is very dangerous. There's a difference between Vedic impersonal path and Mayavadi impersonal path. Okay. So, Mayavadi impersonal path is when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejects it. Whereas the Vedic impersonal path is one of the stepping stones. Brahman realization is one of the steps in the path of spiritual realization. The Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, Bhagavan realization, different paths which Krishna is explaining in this Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, Prabhupada concludes very nicely that somehow you come in touch with a pure devotee, his blessing, you will take up pure devotional service. That way move forward in your devotional path. Devotional service described in middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita is more congenial. One need not bother about materials to keep body and soul together because by the grace of the Lord, everything is carried out automatically. Very important statement. Very significant statement. Prabhupada concludes the 12th chapter. Always we are worried about to maintain ourselves, maintain our extended selves. Right? Whereas Prabhupada says, need not bother. What does Krishna say in 9th chapter? Ananya shintayanto ma vejana paryusasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshema bhahamyam. Krishna says, I personally take care. I automatically will give you all protection, Krishna says. Everything is carried out automatically. Prabhupada had this faith in Krishna. His whole life is an example for us. Okay. So thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the 12th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of devotional service completed. Okay. So, fine. So we'll conclude here. Any questions, any comments, any clarifications?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
While we aspire to develop these good qualifications of a devotee, we become more and more free from the disturbances of the mind. So when we strive for that, the chanting becomes easier in the sense, Prabhuji, our wanderings become less, wandering of the mind. So if we try to cultivate these habits, good qualities, it may surely help us in our chanting also.
It is not that, we do this so it becomes better. Nothing like that. The devotional activity itself is so potent and so powerful that everything else is taken care by that. Right. So by performance of So chanting itself is a powerful activity, powerful, very potent devotional activity, wherein you are doing it with sincerity, even though you may not have qualifications, gradually you will develop them, right? And gradually you develop them, and more you are getting into the depths of the understanding of chanting, and because chanting itself has given you the enlightenment from within, that it has created a hunger in you for knowledge, chit. Knowledge means chit knowledge, chit understanding of more about. See, even though initially you may take up chanting with little faith, right? You may not have that so much of philosophical inclination, understand the very nitty-gritties of what is what, all these things. But the very process of Hare Krishna chanting, seriously, sincerely, which is the most powerful method of devotional service as recommended by Prabhupada. This itself will later on bestow upon all the necessary aspects or the qualities which you may have to develop eventually, right?
So the chanting will lead the way to the
Exactly.
acquiring these.
Exactly. So this is the key thing in our case, right? See, Prabhupada, there's many conversations and many instances Prabhupada explains this. There is one in America. There was a conversation in one of the Hawaii Highlands. Hawaii, you heard of Hawaii, right? So there Prabhupada has a temple. So their devotees used to say, Prabhupada, these people here, villagers, we would like to go there, introduce deity worship, this. Prabhupada said, do nothing. Just make them chant Hare Krishna, Sankirtan. We want to distribute books. We want to give philosophical classes. Prabhupada said, nothing will go in their heads. Just make them chant Hare Krishna for 1 hour, 2 hours, Sankirtan. Then slowly things will change. Because Hare Krishna is so powerful. Once it enters a person's system, body system, mind-body system, it will change. Prabhupada never said the hippies initially, you give up intoxication, you give up illicit sex, no. Prabhupada said, you chant. The chanting made them to give up all those bad habits.
Yes.
Correct? So it all begins because chanting has awakened that good sense in them, what is not good. That sense of discrimination has come. So the powerful holy name, Lord enters your consciousness, he starts cleaning your consciousness. More you keep him in the heart, more sincerely, he will start giving you all directions. That's what Krishna says in 10th chapter. Tesham sarata yuktalam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. When you are constantly engaged in Krishna's service, what service? Chanting. Japa, Sankirtana, you are all. Krishna gives directions from within forward further in his devotional service. So it's not that we separately endeavor. Of course, as a direction from Prabhupada said, why I have written books? For you devotees to read. So it is a combined process in our case, especially right now, because our faith, in fact, Prabhupada said Krishna wants us to 24 hours chant. But where we are not able to chant 16 rounds also. 2 hours chanting also is so difficult. Mind is so disturbed, distracted. In 2 hours it goes, all over the universe. Right? So like this. So right now, the tendency to act, work is there. So do actions for Krishna. So eventually, all the actions, what you do, purify you so much that your chanting quality enhances. Anything we do should finally give you the result of improving your chanting quality. Chanting quality, high chanting quality means what? The mantra sound, Hare Krishna mantra, what Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna and exactly the same sound you hear. That Hare Krishna sound only should reverberate in your mind. No other sound is there. So, as Prabhupada says, now we are doing Nama Aparada. Our stage of chanting is called Nama Aparada. A lot of offenses we are doing. So, yes, go on doing this. A stage will come wherein you will come to the Nama Bhasa. Nama Bhasa means almost like you are chanting. Abhasa. Just like early morning, sun is about to rise. There is a little light which comes out, right? That is called the initial twilight. That itself will drive out all the darkness of night. So Nama Bhasa is like that. Little awakening of Krishna consciousness with little more purified chanting will give you that sense of, oh, this is light. That is called Nama Bhasa. Then you reach the stage of Shuddha Nama. Pure chanting. Right? The way Rupa Goswami, Prabhupada used to chant. So, chanting is the essence. Yes, definitely we don't endeavor to cultivate them, at least as a matter of our service to Prabhupada's instructions. We follow Prabhupada's instructions because this itself, knowing them, understanding them, is also a step towards have a purified chanting. Right? It's all there. These are the qualities I am endowed with. This gives a lot of sense of confidence in us. Oh, I am this, I am this, I am that. But right now, what I have become? And Prabhupada says, chant, you do chanting, this will manifest. How to do chanting, purified chanting, step by step is what the process is. So, all the things what we do is mainly to improve the quality of chanting. And more improved quality, more and more quality chanting you're doing, you will see your whole consciousness becomes very clear. And your level of realization goes to next level of understanding. That's how it is. So basically, chanting is that driving force, right?
Yes.
Krishna's devotional service of chanting is the driving force for us, which will keep everything else moving forward. Prabhupada said, our movement is called Hare Krishna movement. Hare Krishna is driving everything. Hare Krishna is Krishna himself in the sound form, sound incarnation. He is driving everything. The whole movement which Prabhupada started, why he went around the world? Just to give this Hare Krishna to everybody. Because Krishna in this form, sound incarnation, he has come. Take. Krishna is very easily accessible. Temple building, deity worship, not easy. Hare Krishna is somebody where it can manifest. Any place, any time. Right? So merciful. Hare Krishna is even more merciful than Krishna. Krishna himself, but is more merciful than Krishna. He has just come to give association and deliver us. Whatever level of understanding we have now with spiritual life, with myself, is all because of Hare Krishna. If you are not chanting Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Gita knowledge will be simply academic knowledge. You cannot relate with anything what Bhagavad Gita Krishna is telling. It's simply, disconnected sort of understanding. Like what you have studied, what you studied in your science and mathematics in your school, college. Do you remember anything? Nothing you remember. Disconnected totally. What Shobha Kamaji, did you remember? In science, physics, what all you studied in your school? Nothing. Zero.
Yes.
Right? We don't remember anything. Here in Krishna consciousness, we are able to relate with what Krishna has spoken in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything, because we're chanting Hare Krishna. Krishna is connecting. Is same thing what you have heard. The understanding will be more deeper, more with more greater realization. and you see the depth of understanding. Why? Because of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna is everything for us. Life and soul. Prabhupada says, keep Hare Krishna always. Worship Hare Krishna. Right? That way. Okay. Any other
Thank
question?
you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. So let's close now. We'll begin with our next session with the next section. 13th chapter. Very important chapter. Next session. Okay. We'll close here. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.